In other news, Mirantis announced a new feature to help manage Kubernetes this week. Lens Control Center is a follow up to their successful Lens Pro release last year. Lens Control Center has enterprise single sign on capabilities, centralized management of Lens Pro deployments, and accounting and billing enhancements. Lens Control Center is aimed to help companies successfully scale out their deployments of Lens and Lens Pro to keep their Kubernetes farms corralled. How big of a news is this, Tom?
Well, I think it's a really important development in this whole thing, and you should definitely go read the Gestalt IT article that we linked in the show notes from our staff writer Shalagna. She did a great job of kind of summarizing it. But the one thing that I want to talk about here is the fact that you literally are watching the evolution of a minimum viable product. I mean, Mirantis came out with Lens to manage things. Then they came out with Lens Pro to manage even more stuff. But if you want to think about Lens Control Center in the vein of old technology, this is essentially vCenter. And think about how many VMware admins out there live and breathe and exist only for vCenter. Like the idea of having to connect to a server and manually manage it just kind of gives them hives. And that's ultimately what we're seeing here, is that as Lens and Lens Pro have become more popular options for managing Kubernetes deployments, they need a manager of managers. And that's what this offers. And yeah, when you look down the list, it doesn't sound that exciting, right? Single sign-on, customized billing. You know what? Heated seats don't sound all that exciting in a car until it's wintertime and you need them. And that's what this offers, is the capability to say, well, now I can sign into all of my Lens Pro with one centralized SSO database, or, I can connect to an SSO provider so that I don't have to manage all the individual instances. That is magical if you've ever forgotten the password to one of your instances. Then the billing. Look, billing is probably one of the most ridiculously boring things you can do. But as I am fond of telling a lot of people, especially outside of work, it's not over until the paperwork is done. And that's what this gives you. Because this mythical type of chargeback thing that we always hear, well, we want to know what's being consumed and we want to know which departments are using what. That is a real thing in the cloud, because this is no longer consuming on-premises resources that are sunk costs. The electricity ran for an extra hour last night because we were running a really hard query. Who cares? We were paying the light bill anyway. But now that particular instance that someone upgraded to using 8 cores and a terabyte of RAM because it completed 20 seconds faster cost you an extra, $8,000-$9,000? Yeah, you're going to want to know that. And so by creating these kinds of things, you can authorize people to do certain things or to not do certain things and manage it centrally. Also, one of the things that I thought was kind of neat in there was network connectivity. You can actually block certain instances of Lens Pro from accessing outside networks like the internet. That might be important for audit purposes. This Lens Pro instance can only be managed from inside the network. It is only allowed to be managed inside the network because it contains regulated information or it's deploying services, and we just don't want it to be able to contact the internet. Like, those are the little things that matter from going from a thing to a solution platform. And I applaud the people at Mirantis for doing this, and kind of building the piece, seeing how it's deployed, building the next piece to kind of incorporate that feedback, and then, eventually creating the manager of managers kind of thing. So definitely check it out if you're someone who uses Mirantis and you have a deployment of Lens or Lens Pro. If it's big enough, you're going to want this for sure. But like I said, also check out the article from our staff writer, because she did a great job of kind of telling you why you need it if you're not already using it.